Spring had just begun in New York City, and the city was slowly coming back to life after the long, harsh winter. The sun shone brightly through the large windows of the cafe that Holly had opened just a few months ago. Dreamer's Corner was the name she had chosen, a name that spoke of hope and new beginnings. It was the kind of place where people came to find comfort, to lose themselves in a good book, or simply to escape the fast pace of the city. Holly stood behind the counter, expertly pouring coffee into a cup, her hands moving with the ease that came from months of practice. Her dark hair was pulled back in a loose bun, a few strands falling over her face, which was pale but radiant. At 30 years old, Holly had always been a picture of calm and grace, but today, her green eyes held a sadness that she couldn't shake. It had been over a year since she lost Sarah, her partner, her other half, the woman she had loved more than anything in the world. The memories were still fresh, the pain still raw. Sarah had been everything to her, and when she died, Holly felt like a part of her had died too. As she set the cup down on the counter, she glanced at the photograph of Sarah that she kept in the back of the cafe. It was a small picture, framed in simple wood, showing Sarah laughing at the beach. Her blonde curls were wild in the wind, and her blue eyes sparkled with life. Holly smiled faintly at the memory, but her heart ached. Every day she missed Sarah more. The bell above the door chimed, pulling Holly out of her thoughts. She looked up to see a woman entering the cafe. Tall and elegant, with a confident stride, the woman had a presence that commanded attention. Holly watched as she walked over to the counter, a warm smile spreading across her face. "Hi," the woman said, her voice soft but firm. "This place is lovely. Is it new?" "Yes, just a few months," Holly replied, returning the smile. "It's a dream I've had for a long time." "Well, you've done a wonderful job," the woman said, glancing at the menu. "What's your specialty?" "We're known for our coffee, but the carrot cake is quite popular too." "Then I'll have a coffee and a slice of carrot cake, please." Holly prepared the order, feeling a strange curiosity about the woman. There was something about her, a warm energy that was both intriguing and familiar, as if their paths were meant to cross. When the woman received her order, she introduced herself. "I'm Emma, by the way." "Holly," she replied, shaking her hand. "Nice to meet you, Emma." Emma smiled again, thanking her before heading to a table by the window. Holly watched her settle in, thinking how easy it had been to talk to her, like she was an old friend. Over the next few days, Emma became a regular at the cafe. She always ordered the same thing, a coffee and a slice of carrot cake, and she would sit by the window reading a book or writing in a brown leather notebook. Gradually, Holly and Emma's conversations grew deeper. What started as small talk soon evolved into more personal discussions. One afternoon, as the sun was setting and the cafe was bathed in the warm golden light, Emma stayed until closing time. Holly, who had come to enjoy these conversations, offered her another cup of coffee, this time on the house. "Thank you, Holly," Emma said, accepting the cup gratefully. "Can I ask you something personal?" "Sure," Holly replied, surprised but open to whatever Emma had in mind. "I've noticed that sometimes you seem, I don't know how to say it, like you're carrying something heavy. I don't want to pry, but I feel like there's more behind those eyes." Emma looked at her with a mix of curiosity and concern. Holly felt a lump in her throat, but she knew it was time to open up. She had been carrying so much weight in her heart, and for some reason she felt like she could trust Emma. "I lost someone very important a little over a year ago," Holly began, looking down at her coffee cup. "Sarah, my partner, passed away. It was a huge blow. Since then I've been trying to move on, and this cafe has been a way to do that. But some scars are hard to heal." Emma nodded, her expression soft and understanding. "I'm so sorry, Holly. That must have been incredibly painful." "It was, and sometimes it still is. But Sarah left me something that's helped a lot." Holly hesitated for a moment but then decided to continue. "She left me letters, a series of letters with instructions to help me move forward. They've been my guide these past few months." Emma was silent for a moment, processing what Holly had just shared. That sounds like something beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. But it also shows how much she loved you, how much she wanted you to keep going, even after she was gone. Holly nodded, feeling a tear escape her eyes. She didn't try to stop it. Somehow talking to Emma made everything feel a little lighter. as if by sharing her story, part of the weight was lifting. "It's hard," Holly continued, "but I've learned to take each day as it comes. Sometimes I just let the letters guide me, and other times I try to find my own way. And you're doing an amazing job," Emma said, gently taking Holly's hand. "This cafe, your kindness, everything I've seen in you over this time, is a testament to your strength." The touch of their hands was brief, but it meant so much to Holly. She felt a warmth in Emma's gesture, something she hadn't experienced since losing Sarah. It was as if Emma could see beyond her sadness and accept her completely, with all her scars. From that conversation, Holly and Emma's relationship deepened. Emma began staying later, helping Holly close the cafe, talking about all sorts of topics, from books and movies to dreams and fears. Over time, Holly began to notice something more in those conversations, a spark she had thought was extinguished forever. One day, while they were walking together through the park after closing the cafe, Emma stopped and looked into Holly's eyes. "Holly, I want to be honest with you. Since I met you, I felt something special. I don't want to pressure you or make you feel uncomfortable, but I think it's important that you know." Holly looked at her, feeling her heart race. She didn't know what to say. She had started to feel the same way, but fear held her back, the fear of betraying Sarah's memory, or of opening herself up to pain again. "Emma," she began to say, but the words got stuck in her throat. "You don't have to say anything now," Emma replied, smiling softly. "I just wanted you to know. I'm here for whatever you need in whatever time you need." Holly nodded, grateful for Emma's patience and understanding. She knew she wasn't ready to take such a big step, but she also knew that for the first time since Sarah's death, there was something in her heart besides fear. There was hope. The weeks that followed brought a gentle rhythm to Holly's life. The cafe continued to thrive, its warm atmosphere becoming a sanctuary not only for Holly but also for Emma, who had become a steady presence. Their conversations grew deeper, their connection stronger, but Holly still grappled with her feelings. One chilly evening, as Holly was preparing to close the cafe, she noticed Emma lingering, flipping through a book at a corner table. The sun had already set, casting a golden glow across the room. Holly decided it was time to address the growing tension between them. "Emma," Holly called softly, "could we talk for a minute before you go?" Emma looked up from her book, her blue eyes sparkling with curiosity. She nodded and walked over to the counter where Holly was wiping down the surfaces. "Sure, Holly. What's up?" Holly took a deep breath, her hands resting on the counter as she gathered her thoughts. "I've been thinking a lot about us," Holly began, her voice slightly shaky. "About what you said that day in the park. I'm not sure where to start or how to express what I'm feeling." Emma's expression softened, and she reached out to touch Holly's hand reassuringly. "It's okay, Holly. We can take things slow. I'm here to listen." Holly appreciated Emma's calm demeanor. She glanced at the photograph of Sarah that she kept behind the counter, then back at Emma. "Sarah left me a series of letters," Holly said, her voice steadying. "Each one has given me guidance and comfort. The last letter was about living without fear and finding happiness again. And I think that's what I'm struggling with." Emma nodded, understanding the weight of Holly's words. She gently squeezed Holly's hand. "You don't have to rush into anything. It's important to honor your feelings and take your time. I just want you to know that I care about you deeply, and that I'm willing to wait as long as you need." Holly's heart swelled with emotion. She knew Emma was genuine, but the fear of moving forward still loomed large. She felt overwhelmed by the possibility of opening her heart again, but at the same time, she couldn't deny the warmth and connection she felt with Emma. "I appreciate that, Emma," Holly said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You've been incredibly patient and understanding. I just need a bit more time to figure things out." Emma smiled warmly, her eyes reflecting both empathy and encouragement. "Take all the time you need, Holly. I'm here for you no matter what." As the cafe closed for the night, Holly and Emma walked out into the crisp evening air. They decided to take a stroll through the nearby park, where the sounds of the city seemed distant and the quiet provided a sense of calm. They walked side by side, occasionally exchanging words but mostly enjoying the peaceful silence. Holly felt a sense of comfort and security with Emma, a feeling she hadn't experienced in a long time. After a while, they reached a small bridge that overlooked a gently flowing stream. Emma stopped and leaned against the railing, looking out at the water. Holly joined her, taking a deep breath of the fresh air. "I've been thinking about Sarah a lot lately," Holly admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "About the life we had and the future we planned. It's hard to let go of those dreams." Emma turned to face Holly, her expression filled with understanding. "It's completely normal to grieve and to hold on to those memories. Sarah was a big part of your life, and it's okay to feel that loss. But it's also important to remember that it's possible to create new dreams and find new sources of happiness." Holly nodded, her heart heavy but hopeful. The park's serenity seemed to echo Emma's words, giving her a sense of clarity. "I'm trying to find a balance between cherishing the past and opening myself up to the future," Holly said, her voice steady. "And I want to be honest with you about where I am right now." Emma smiled, a reassuring and supportive smile that made Holly feel more at ease. "I appreciate your honesty, Holly, and I want you to know that I'm here to support you through this journey, wherever it may lead." As they continued their walk, Holly felt a renewed sense of hope. She knew that healing and moving forward would take time, but having Emma by her side made the path seem a little less daunting. The connection they shared was becoming a source of strength and comfort, helping Holly to envision a future where she could embrace both the past and the possibilities that lay ahead. The days turned into weeks, and Holly found herself increasingly drawn to Emma. Their conversations became more meaningful, and their moments together more cherished. Despite the lingering sadness of losing Sarah, Holly began to see the potential for new beginnings. One morning, as Holly prepared for another day at the cafe, she received a phone call from Emma. Her voice was bright and excited. "Hey Holly, I was thinking, how about we spend the weekend exploring the city? I know a few places we could visit, and I think it would be fun." Holly's heart skipped a beat. The idea of spending more time with Emma, exploring the city and creating new memories, sounded wonderful. "I'd love that," Holly replied, her voice filled with genuine enthusiasm. "Let's plan for it." As they made plans for the weekend, Holly felt a sense of anticipation and excitement. For the first time in a long while, she was looking forward to something with hope and eagerness. The next few days flew by, and before Holly knew it, the weekend arrived. She and Emma set out to explore the city, discovering new neighborhoods, trying out new restaurants, and sharing laughter and conversations along the way. Each moment together felt like a step forward, a step toward healing and new beginnings. By the end of the weekend, Holly felt a renewed sense of hope and connection. She knew that the journey ahead would still have its challenges, but with Emma by her side, she felt ready to embrace the future with an open heart. As Holly and Emma's weekend adventure came to an end, Holly felt a profound shift within herself. The time spent exploring the city together had not only brought them closer, but had also helped Holly see the world through a new lens. The laughter and shared experiences had begun to mend the wounds of her heart. Back at the cafe, Holly was bustling with energy and positivity. The spring sunlight streamed through the windows, casting a warm glow over the cozy interior. Emma had started visiting more often, not just as a customer, but as a friend who was becoming an integral part of Holly's life. One Tuesday afternoon, as Holly prepared a batch of scones, Emma walked into the cafe, holding a small bouquet of wildflowers. Her presence was as vibrant as ever, and Holly couldn't help but smile. "Good afternoon, Holly," Emma called cheerfully. "I thought these might brighten your day." Holly accepted the bouquet with a grateful smile. "Thank you, Emma. They're beautiful. You always know how to make me smile." Emma's eyes twinkled with mischief. "I have a surprise for you." "Oh, what's the surprise?" Holly asked, intrigued. Emma pulled out a folded piece of paper from her bag and handed it to Holly. "I've been working on something. I think you'll like it." Holly unfolded the paper and discovered it was an invitation to a special event at a local art gallery. The exhibit was featuring contemporary art, something Holly had always been interested in, but had never had the chance to explore. "I thought it might be fun for us to go together," Emma said, her voice filled with excitement. "It's this Saturday evening." Holly's heart leaped at the thought. "That sounds wonderful. I'd love to go." As the week progressed, Holly found herself eagerly anticipating the art gallery visit. It was a welcome distraction from her routine, and the idea of spending an evening with Emma in such a setting was both thrilling and comforting. Saturday evening arrived, and Holly was ready, dressed in a stylish black dress that accentuated her curves, paired with a light cardigan for warmth. She had chosen a simple but elegant outfit that made her feel both confident and relaxed. Emma picked her up at 7 p.m., looking radiant in a navy blue dress that complemented her blonde curls. As they drove to the gallery, the city lights sparkled outside, creating a magical ambience. When they arrived at the gallery, the atmosphere was alive with the buzz of people admiring art. The gallery's space was modern and sleek, with high ceilings and well-lit exhibits. Holly and Emma wandered through the various rooms, discussing the pieces and sharing their interpretations. "I love how this piece plays with light and shadow," Holly commented, pointing to a striking abstract painting. Emma nodded in agreement. "It's fascinating how art can evoke such different emotions in people." As they moved from one exhibit to another, Holly felt a sense of connection with Emma. Their shared interest in art, and their conversations flowed effortlessly. The evening was filled with moments of genuine laughter and deep discussion, reinforcing the bond they had been building. Eventually, they reached a section of the gallery featuring interactive installations. Holly was particularly drawn to a piece that invited visitors to create their own art, using a variety of materials. "Want to give it a try?" Emma asked, her eyes sparkling with playful curiosity. Holly grinned, her earlier reservations melting away. "Sure. Let's see what we can come up with." They spent the next hour experimenting with different materials, laughing and enjoying each other's company. Their creation was a whimsical collage that combined elements of their personalities and experiences. The activity felt liberating and fun, and Holly couldn't remember the last time she had felt so free and alive. As the evening came to a close, Holly and Emma walked back to the car, the city streets now quiet and serene. Emma reached for Holly's hand, a gesture that felt both natural and reassuring. "Thank you for coming tonight," Holly said, her voice filled with sincerity. "I had a wonderful time." Emma squeezed her hand gently. "I'm glad you enjoyed it." "I did too." As they drove home, Holly couldn't help but reflect on how much Emma had come to mean to her. The comfort and connection she felt with Emma were undeniable, and for the first time since Sarah's death, Holly felt a genuine sense of hope and possibility for the future. When they reached Holly's apartment, Emma walked her to the door. They stood on the doorstep, the night air cool and crisp. "Would you like to come in for a bit?" Holly asked, feeling a mix of nervousness and excitement. Emma smiled warmly. "I'd love to." Inside the apartment, Holly and Emma settled on the couch with a bottle of wine. They talked and laughed, their conversation flowing easily. The atmosphere was intimate and relaxed, and Holly found herself feeling more at ease than she had in a long time. As the evening wore on, their conversation turned to more personal topics. Holly shared stories from her past, her experiences with Sarah, and her journey through grief and healing. Emma listened with empathy and understanding, offering support and insights of her own. Holly felt a profound sense of connection with Emma, a feeling that went beyond friendship. It was as if Emma had been a missing piece in her life, someone who understood her and accepted her for who she was. When Emma finally stood to leave, Holly felt a pang of sadness. She didn't want the night to end. "Thank you for tonight," Holly said, her voice soft but filled with emotion. "It meant a lot to me." Emma looked at Holly with a tender expression. "I'm glad we spent this time together. I care about you a lot, Holly." Their eyes met, and for a moment the world seemed to stand still. Holly knew that whatever the future held, she was ready to face it with an open heart, knowing that she had found someone special in Emma. As Emma left, Holly closed the door behind her and leaned against it, feeling a mix of emotions. She was grateful for the new experiences and connections she was forging, and hopeful for the future. The path ahead was still uncertain, but with Emma by her side, Holly felt ready to embrace whatever came next. The journey of healing and moving forward was ongoing, but Holly knew that she was no longer alone in it. The following week, Holly found herself walking on air. Her time with Emma had been transformative, and she felt an excitement about the future that had been absent for a long time. The cafe was bustling with its usual morning crowd, but Holly's mind was preoccupied with thoughts of Emma. As she prepared a fresh batch of pastries, her best friend Lucy walked into the cafe, her presence immediately lifting Holly's spirits. Lucy was a whirlwind of energy, with her short, spiky auburn hair, and a penchant for colorful outfits that matched her vibrant personality. "Hey, Holly," Lucy called out, weaving through the tables to reach the counter. "You look like you've got a secret." Holly smiled, trying to keep her excitement in check. "Oh, Lucy, you know me too well. I've been having a great week." Lucy raised an eyebrow, her curiosity piqued. "A great week? That sounds like there's more to it." Holly hesitated for a moment before deciding to share. "I've been spending a lot of time with Emma. We've been going out exploring the city, and it's been really wonderful." Lucy's eyes widened with interest. "Emma, huh? The one who comes in here all the time? I've noticed the way you two look at each other." Holly blushed, slightly embarrassed but also pleased. "Yeah, she's been amazing. We've been getting closer, and I think I'm starting to really care about her." Lucy's face broke into a wide grin. "That's fantastic. I've been hoping you'd find someone who makes you happy. So what's the next step?" Holly sighed, a mix of excitement and apprehension. "I don't know yet. I'm still figuring things out, but I'm trying to take things one day at a time." Lucy placed a comforting hand on Holly's shoulder. "Just follow your heart. It sounds like you're on the right path." Their conversation was interrupted by the chime of the cafe door as Emma walked in, her bright smile lighting up the room. Holly's heart skipped a beat at the sight of her. "Good morning, Holly," Emma said cheerfully, approaching the counter. "I hope I'm not interrupting." "Not at all," Holly replied, her voice warm. "I was just talking about you with Lucy." Emma looked over at Lucy, who gave her an encouraging nod. "I'm glad to hear that." As Emma ordered her usual coffee and carrot cake, Holly felt a sense of anticipation. She was eager to see Emma and spend more time with her, but she also wanted to address the growing feelings between them. After Emma received her order, she and Holly moved to a table by the window, where they could enjoy a bit of privacy. Lucy took the opportunity to give Holly a playful wink before heading to the back room. "So, how was your day?" Emma asked, taking a sip of her coffee. "It's been good," Holly replied, her eyes meeting Emma's. "I've been thinking a lot about us." Emma looked at her intently, a hint of nervousness in her expression. "What have you been thinking?" Holly took a deep breath, gathering her courage. "I've been feeling a lot of things lately. It's been both exciting and confusing. I really enjoy spending time with you, and I think I'm starting to develop deeper feelings." Emma's face lit up with a mixture of relief and happiness. "I've been feeling the same way. I care about you a lot, Holly, more than I've allowed myself to admit." Holly's heart raced at Emma's confession. The vulnerability and honesty between them created a profound connection. "I'm glad to hear that. I was worried about moving forward and how it might affect us." Emma reached across the table, taking Holly's hand in hers. "We don't have to rush anything. We can take our time and see where this leads. What's important is that we're honest with each other." Holly squeezed Emma's hand, feeling a surge of warmth and reassurance. "I agree. Let's take it one step at a time and see where this journey takes us." As they continued their conversation, Holly felt a renewed sense of hope and excitement about the future. Emma's presence in her life was a source of joy and comfort, and she was eager to explore what their future together might hold. The rest of the week flew by in a blur of activity. Holly and Emma continued to spend time together, sharing more experiences and deepening their connection. Holly found herself increasingly drawn to Emma's warmth, kindness, and sense of adventure. One Friday evening, Emma invited Holly to her apartment for a home-cooked dinner. Holly eagerly accepted, excited for a more intimate setting where they could relax and enjoy each other's company. When Holly arrived at Emma's apartment, she was greeted with the delicious aroma of a home-cooked meal. Emma had prepared a beautiful spread of food, and the dining area was adorned with candles, creating a cozy and romantic atmosphere. "Welcome, Holly," Emma said, smiling warmly. "I hope you're hungry." Holly's eyes widened at the sight of the meal. "This looks amazing, Emma. I can't wait to try it." They enjoyed a delightful dinner together, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Emma's cooking was as delightful as her company, and Holly felt a deep sense of contentment as they shared stories and laughter. After dinner, they moved to the living room, where Emma had set up a comfortable space with soft cushions and a selection of movies. They settled in, watching a romantic comedy that made them both laugh. As the movie played, Holly felt Emma's hand brush against hers. The touch was gentle and electric, sending a shiver down Holly's spine. She turned to look at Emma, who was already gazing at her with a tender expression. "Holly," Emma said softly, "I want you to know how much you mean to me. These past few weeks have been some of the happiest I've had in a long time." Holly's heart swelled with emotion. She leaned in closer to Emma, their faces inches apart. "I feel the same way, Emma. You've brought so much light into my life." Emma's lips met Holly's in a sweet and gentle kiss. The moment was filled with a sense of belonging and connection that Holly had longed for. As they pulled back, Holly saw the same warmth and affection reflected in Emma's eyes. They spent the rest of the evening wrapped in each other's arms, feeling a profound sense of peace and happiness. Holly knew that their journey together was just beginning, but with Emma by her side, she felt ready to embrace whatever the future held. The path ahead was still filled with uncertainties, but Holly was no longer afraid. She had found someone who understood her, accepted her, and made her feel truly alive. Together, they would navigate the challenges and joys of life, building a future filled with love, adventure, and hope. The weeks following Holly and Emma's heartfelt evening together were marked by a renewed sense of optimism and clarity. Their connection deepened with each passing day, and their relationship began to blossom into something truly special. Holly embraced her new reality with a mix of excitement and calm, no longer haunted by the shadows of her past, but rather illuminated by the possibilities of her future. One bright Saturday morning, Holly decided to take a day off from the cafe. She wanted to surprise Emma with a special outing to celebrate their growing relationship. She spent the morning planning and preparing, her excitement palpable. When Holly arrived at Emma's apartment to pick her up, she was greeted with a cheerful smile. Emma was dressed casually in a comfortable pair of jeans and a soft sweater. Holly, dressed in a flowy summer dress and a light scarf, looked equally enthusiastic. "Good morning," Holly said, grinning. "I have a surprise for you today." Emma's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "A surprise? I'm intrigued. Where are we going?" Holly led Emma outside to her car, which was packed with a picnic basket and a blanket. Emma's curiosity turned into delight as Holly opened the trunk to reveal the surprise. "I thought we could have a picnic in Central Park," Holly explained. "It's a beautiful day, and I wanted us to enjoy some time outdoors." Emma clapped her hands together in excitement. "That sounds wonderful. I've always wanted to have a picnic in Central Park." As they drove to the park, they chatted about their plans and dreams, their conversation flowing naturally. Once they arrived, Holly set up the picnic blanket under a large, shady tree, and they unpacked the basket filled with delicious treats: fresh fruits, sandwiches, homemade pastries, and a bottle of sparkling lemonade. They spent the afternoon lounging on the blanket, enjoying the sunny weather and the delicious food. Holly and Emma shared stories, laughed about their silly mishaps, and talked about their future aspirations. The park was alive with the sounds of children playing, musicians performing, and people enjoying the day. "This has been perfect," Emma said, leaning back on the blanket and taking a sip of her lemonade. "I love how relaxed and happy I feel." Holly smiled, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've been thinking about how much you've come to mean to me, and how grateful I am to have you in my life." Emma reached out and took Holly's hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. "I feel the same way, Holly. You've brought so much joy and love into my life. I can't imagine being without you." As they sat together, basking in the warmth of the sun and the comfort of each other's presence, Holly reflected on how far she had come since Sarah's passing. The pain and loss were still a part of her, but they no longer overshadowed her ability to find happiness and love again. The picnic was a beautiful reminder of the new beginnings, and the joy that could be found in embracing the present moment. Holly and Emma's bond had grown stronger, and their connection felt more meaningful than ever. As the sun began to set and the sky turned shades of pink and orange, Holly and Emma packed up their things and made their way back to the car. They walked hand in hand, their fingers intertwined, sharing a comfortable silence filled with mutual appreciation and affection. When they reached Emma's apartment, Holly paused before saying goodbye. She looked into Emma's eyes, feeling a rush of emotions. "I want you to know how much today meant to me," Holly said softly. "It's been a while since I've felt this happy, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you." Emma's eyes glistened with emotion as she replied, and I'm grateful for every moment we've shared. I'm excited for what the future holds for us." They shared a tender kiss, filled with the promise of a bright future and the assurance of their deepening connection. As Holly left, she felt a sense of hope and excitement about the life she was building with Emma. The path ahead was filled with possibilities, and Holly knew that with Emma by her side, she could face whatever challenges and joys lay ahead. The journey of healing and moving forward was an ongoing one, but Holly felt confident and ready to embrace it. The cafe continued to thrive, and Holly found herself more fulfilled both personally and professionally. Emma remained a constant source of support and love, and together they navigated the ups and downs of life, building a relationship grounded in mutual respect, affection, and shared dreams. Holly's story was one of growth and renewal, a testament to the power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. She had learned that it was possible to honor the past while embracing the future, and she looked forward to the adventures that awaited her and Emma as they continued to build a life filled with happiness and hope. The end.